My friend, sister, here, looks like 200 people. We're here at Denny's. Hi. Are we ready to order?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you guys get?
Eggs and bacon. Yeah. Sourdough, please. And then can we also get the apple bourbon pancake breakfast with medium eggs and bacon? Yeah, this one.
Make a buttermilk pancake or
Buttermilk, please.
and eggs?
Medium. Yeah, and bacon.
Thank you.
I would like. Do you still have the crepes? I'd like the a la carte order with 2. It should be $6.99. It's not actually on the menu, but I've asked about it before. Yeah, okay. I'd like 2 crepes. An order of 2 crepes for her, and that. What are the flavors of them? I forget.
Yeah,
Oh, they're right here. Okay, cool. I couldn't find. I want the berry vanilla crepes for her. Berry vanilla crepes for her. And I'll have the apple bourbon crepes. I want the 2 as well. I want 2 apple bourbon for me and 2 berry vanilla crepes for her. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're here at Denny's. We're here. We're queer. We don't want any more bears.
Everything.
Okay.
I mean,
Hello.
I'm waiting
Hi, beautiful. How are you feeling? Good.
I'm gonna have to be a little bit closer.
It's a little bit. We're not. I just kind of lean forward a little bit. Now,
You're blocking me.
so I titled this one Spacey. What's that? Spacey and Eric's Slab Sync Iteration. Spacey and Eric's Slab Sync Iteration. Okay.
Pretty accurate.
So there's a lot of parallels. A lot of various parallelism. Parallelism is one of the, I'd say, engines of slab work. And when Tori arrived, we'll start with that story. When Tori arrived, I was the proud recipient of a very interesting phone call. And that phone call was from a person who had a desperate typological emergency. And said to me, "Coach Eric, I will gladly pay you twice your normal rate for an emergency session."
Right.
I said, "Well, you don't have to do that. You can just book a session." It's like, "No, I need to talk to you right now. And I'll pay you twice." I said, "Okay, fine. You're on PayPal." And paid me $200. And then I called him and I said, "Well, it's going to be after 10 minutes. We got to wrap this one up. We're doing right now." So it's basically I wrapped that one up. Called him. Like, what's your typology emergency? Oh, help! You've got to help. My son's an INFP. Is there anything we can do to change him into an INTP? Sorry. Anyway, it was Tori's dad who paid me $200 to talk. He could easily enough talk to me for free by just calling and saying, "Hey, this is Tori's dad."
Right.
Obviously I'm gonna talk to the guy, but that's fine. I kept the $200.
It's true. That's how it is.
But of course, that's because he's an ENFJ. No offense, Rachel or Rachel Lorota. He thought that making sort of splashy FE splash was going to do him something. It's not a goddamn bit of good.
Right.
So anyway, I had to talk to her parents, and at first they seemed pretty reasonable, I guess. They were being pretty careful, I guess, but in fairly short order, it became obvious that they were operating under some false pretenses. The number one false pretense that maybe ever gets operated under in the entire world is I know what's good for you, and I know that so much that it justifies my ignoring issues of consent on your part to force shit on you. That is the fundamental, that is the building, that is the paving stone of wickedness. Roads of wickedness are built with that paving stone. I know what's good for you, so much more than you know what's good for yourself, that I feel it justifies me in forcing you to do this, in controlling you, in restricting your autonomy, and attacking your ontology, and all this other shit that they do. That can be justified by virtue of the fact that there's something wrong with you, and they know better how you should be than you do. Well, Tori's parents are people like that. And I don't mean to talk shit about them as in general, but
It is what it is.
the shoe fits. You know, they are people like that. They are certain that they know best for Tori, and it seems to have never have occurred to them that maybe they should be led by what she's saying, and instead of structuring some path for her, which they want to do. We do respect what she's saying. She one time said she wanted to do this. So, naturally, wanting to help, we force her to do something in that general area.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think a normal parent says, "Oh, you said at 4 years old you wanted to be a surgeon, so we're gonna just go with what your 4-year-old self wanted to do for a career and just think that you're never gonna want anything different."
It's that's a bit of a cherry picking issue there, doesn't there? Yeah, I did say it was Tuesday. Last Tuesday.
Right.
That doesn't stay put forever, right? You can't say run up to me the next day and say, "You're lying, it's not Tuesday."
It really does sound.
Eric, in order for a principle to be sound, it has to be universally applicable. What's your definition of soundness then? I mean, I guess to be sound, it has to be true and valid both. Okay, but being true and valid both does not mean it's universally applicable.
What was your experience with it? Is it different than his? Or?
No, I had basically the same experience as he did. Of course, they seemed like very reasonable people at first. You would never argue with that, I'm sure.
No.
Right. And, you know, the more you talk to them, the more you start to get this inkling that something is off. Something is wrong here. But you just don't know exactly what it is.
Well, I was sitting next to him while he was on the phone with him yesterday, and I'm like trying to ignore it, and I can just hear my dad like yelling for no good reason.
It's just
It's full of
exhausting.
an emotion, and he was so tired at the end of the phone call just from pure listening.
Right.
I mean, look,
He thinks he can just flail about with these wild appeals to emotion, and I don't know if his tears are even real or what, but he thinks that it's going to move me. It doesn't.
and
And
see,
it doesn't work. It doesn't move Eric either.
what Tori's parents ran afoul of with us is a mistake that really people should never make if they want what they want. Tori's parents tried to outsmart us on
Right.
a number of occasions. Tried to finagle shit, maneuver, leverage, control the frame.
Mhm.
These are extremely easy to deal with, provided
We're very agreeable.
you come at us
In a respectful manner.
Right.
respectfully and most of all with honesty.
Mm-hmm.
That means when I ask a question, for example, you answer it. You don't run away and scramble and try to avoid answering it. Who are we talking about? We're talking right now about Tori's parents. There's another topic coming up in a little bit because Tori's not the only person with parents here. And Rachel also has parents, and we'll talk about them shortly because they're an interesting couple of people. So, you know, it came to a head for me in my interaction with Tori's parents, and thereafter they no interest at all in talking to me. When They very foolishly attempted to use leverage rather than appeal, which always backfires with me. Always. Do not ever attempt to leverage me because I'm so reasonable. It's not ever necessary to leverage me. If you're trying to leverage me, for sure you're in the wrong.
Yes.
Because if you had any reasonable points, you wouldn't need to leverage me. Um,
Is Kimmy sad real?
No, it's
No.
got to be a troll.
it's the same one who put Kimmy sad before. I'm gonna.
You should see the comments on your last video. Which is what Kimmy said. I want you back. I want you back, Harry.
I'll stick my finger in your mouth. Pretty funny, not gonna lie. Anyway,
If everyone just did nothing all day and smoked weed, it wouldn't turn out well, I think. You know what's interesting, Philip Drew? I smoke weed all day, and you're here participating in my live stream. Huh. Now, it might be true that if everyone just did nothing all day and smoked weed, that would be a big problem. However, we could get rid of the and smoke weed part, and it would still be a big problem, right? If everybody did nothing all day, it would be a big problem. You're right. Now let's get rid of that first part and try it again. If everybody smoked weed all day, it'd be a big problem. Well, that's not true.
no.
So you tried to add a little something in there to your warrant to make it seem like there was a connection between the weed and the doing nothing, but you didn't establish that at all,
Yeah, right, Denny.
did you?
No, he didn't. Now, I will say that there are plenty of people who sit around and smoke weed and do nothing all day, but there's also plenty of people who don't have any interest in doing that.
A lot of
Which
drunks
means-
who sit around and do nothing
which
all
means
day
the
too.
world's going to be fine.
You know what else? There are shit tons of newborn babies, even toddlers, basically do nothing productive at all.
Hey,
They're
I
just a
ordered.
complete drain on society.
I ordered the Grand Slam, so I got you Alexandra Creek.
Damn. She knew you wanted it.
Oh yeah.
Get the, what did it say? Grand Slam. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to resume the topic here. So, what happened in the conversation with Rachel's parents today, not Rachel's parents, Tori's parents today, is they tried to leverage something. They were like, look, her comments about us are slanderous or libelous or something, and it's hurting our business. So, I'm sorry, but, we need legal ways that we can make sure we can count on this. That means I need a document in writing from her, or, we might have to take legal action against her. Did you just threaten to sue your own daughter to me?
Yeah.
Surely.
Oh, and they've been backpedaling with me on that ever since. Oh, we never threatened anything. We were just thinking about.
Just thinking out loud. We were just thinking out loud about how we might sue our daughter. Because we think out loud about shit like that. Hey, Rachel, what we might do one day? We might go maim some baby seals. That'd be fun. I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm just thinking out loud. Fuck you. We're thinking that stuff out loud. I mean, who the fuck do you think you are? Anyway, so of course, as soon as they said it to me, I said, well, now you fucked up on multiple levels. One, you tried to leverage me, which is always a bad idea. Number two, you tried to leverage me with legal shit, which is a quadruple bad idea. And that means you will never get anything from your daughter that you want, because now I know anything she provides you is subject to be used against her in a court of law. And I, as a human being who has some knowledge about things and is not an asshole, cannot possibly allow a 20-year-old woman to make that decision. So, this is an example of what happens when instead of asking me and being honest and humble, somebody tries to maneuver me. What do they get? A pair of collective asses, but the tippy toe point of my steel boot. That's for you, Rachel. I got that for you. These are the wrong direction. This goes like this. You get the girl.
Oh, okay.
Anyone want hot sauce? I'm good.
I don't
No.
want any hot sauce.
Thanks.
Grapes.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, please. I almost put your coffee in.
Well,
I
good.
was gonna cry.
Just be like, can I get some country gravy for my grapes? And some horseradish.
All right, I'm done leaning into this camera for now.
Oh, yeah, that's not me. They can still hear us. They just, you know. All right, so look, they can. That's where they can look at them and hear us. I wonder if Rachel will ever be able to piece together that she ran from her controlling, domineering father to the arms of another controlling, domineering weasel. Oh, this is another troll one. You know what? I actually am dominant, but I'm not domineering. I am. I like to have control, but I'm not actually controlling. I mean, the thing is, the reason Rachel ran to me is because I've obtained something that is difficult to attain. I am completely unfuckwithable, dominant, and can be quite authoritative when I need to be. But I'm also very caring and considerate and actually care about Rachel a lot and want to respect her autonomy completely and always go back to that with her and return to that point. I enjoy our interaction stuff. And it is an interaction style when she's fairly deferential. But it is one that is fully consensual. And not just consensual like I'm looking for some technical consent that I can exploit, but I want a continual procession of checking for mutuality, for reciprocity. I want it to be a team, a real partnership, not bullshit, you know? Rachel will make a good first lady. That's an excellent observation, Jake. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Have me and Spacey ever had a fight? Yeah. Like
We don't really have.
we had a fight when we were on mushrooms. Remember? Because you came in and started talking to me that shit I told you not to talk to me about, and then I all screamed at you and told you to get out of my
I
garage.
told you to stop yelling because it was really harsh in my mellow.
The thing was, why were they yelling? Because everybody kept coming into the garage to tell me to stop yelling.
Well,
And so it's like, that's never gonna, I'm never
Yeah.
gonna stop yelling. As long as people keep coming and telling me to stop yelling, I will continue to yell. The only way to get me to stop yelling is to stop telling me to stop yelling. Because they're trying to pressure me into communicating less, and I don't like that.
the thing is, I think the reason.
Well, then they shouldn't be so fucking wrong.
I guess the only reason I almost.
I gotta hurt parents.
The only reason I got in a fight with Eric over that at the moment was because when I'm tripping, I have so little patience for that bullshit that I was willing to physically fight him to get him to stop.
You should have gone and physically fought Kimberly and gotten her to stop.
No. I was like, this noise, this awful noise everywhere has to be ended. But
telling someone with anxiety to calm down will lead to a
it's true.
horrible breakout session.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, I mean, mostly I would say we get in little spats a lot, but we really don't fight. Especially now that we're at a Kimberly's.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everybody gets. I mean, everything's roses and love.
Right.
Yeah, everything's so.
There was a lot of like incidental bad shit that occurred, like little snarkiness maybe between us, or little snarkiness between me and my mom and shit. A little bit of spillover of the toxicity of Kimberly into the rest of my life, and
yeah, we were having kind of a weird.
I'm sorry to everybody for bringing that around. I didn't.
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
It was, dude. Being there, it was like being in one of those fun houses with the mirrors everywhere that are warping everything.
You don't feel right.
Yeah, it was
Other
so
people
messed
don't
up.
feel right.
Yeah.
Oxygen doesn't feel right.
Really bad energy.
Yeah.
It's like you're always on your toes. You
Yeah.
hear her coming near. It's like, oh shit, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hear a little stompy feet and move on the fucking floor.
Anyway, so Tori's parents have been trying to deal with Spacey ever since, and I get at some point they're beginning to come to terms with the fact that they don't have control over this. They can't maneuver shit, or what? Have they come to terms with that?
Not really, because I'm still being as reasonable as I possibly can with them, which means they're not getting the message. I think.
Well, I mean,
So
that's the thing, though.
I'm about to just tell them that. I think, like, I could just tell them now, since they're going to watch it. You're not going to hear from us for another year or so. So just remember that. October 1st, expect a call. Next year.
Well, you know. So that's basically the saga of Tori's parents. And again, the moral of the story is deal with me straight up. I'll always deal with you straight up. No problem. I'll be honest. I'll be accountable. I'll be as fair as I can. I'll be reasonable. I always am. With anybody who is. But one of my jobs, the Slabs has assigned me, is that whenever people are trying to be shady in their communications, as Tori's parents were, trying to frame things in a TE kind of a way, like a utility to them kind of a way.
Well, Eric is explaining things very well so far, Alexander Cruz. I'm too lazy to do it myself if someone else is doing a fine job. If you have any questions for us, that's fine.
Yeah, Alexander, you got things a little bit confused. He was referring to my parents not hearing from us for a year, not y'all.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here forever and ever.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to her parents.
What's FAS?
What's FAS?
Oh,
fetal alcohol syndrome.
no.
What?
She's not retarded.
What the what?
That's fucked up, dude.
You're rude, Hambone.
Jesus Christ.
Man. If you're talking with someone else, that might have been funny.
Who said
But
that?
you pushed it.
Who was the one who said that?
Hambone.
Hambone, I'm putting you on timeout. It was kind of funny.
Oh, that's
Totally.
the wrong Hambone.
Oh, that's not even a
It's a fake
Hambone.
Hambone.
Why do people do that?
Not me, but I'm flattered. God damn it, you son of a bitch.
I love him.
He's good.
Yeah, it's been getting weird with him. Like, he was on the phone with them yesterday, and they were like, "We love you," and I'm like, "What?"
Let's talk about what love means.
And I just said, yeah, you too, without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and then
And
as
she was
soon as
like-
you got off the phone, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Are you sure you
She was like,
understand
did your
the
parents
difference?
just say they love you? And I was like, I don't even remember.
I could tell by the you too at the end of the conversation.
Right.
What you did, so.
Okay.
Okay, so now on to the.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
They're such fucking backstabbing snakes.
I was going into the conversation with Rachel's parents. So, remember, Rachel is a 34-year-old college graduate. Okay. So, well, I knew, really, I was calling her parents to talk to them with Rachel about the fact that she was moving to California. Seems like I can understand them being surprised, perhaps. I can understand them having some doubts. But when I spoke to Rachel's dad, instead of being surprised or having some thoughts, he tried to control the narrative entirely. He didn't want me to talk at all. He wanted only to talk to Rachel. He didn't want to, I said, I'm not stopping you from talking to Rachel. Go ahead and talk to her. What he really meant is he wanted me to shut up. He didn't want to hear my voice. So I had to say, sir, no, hey, no. You do not get to establish the frame here. You are on defense. I'm here. I'm the new sheriff in town, and you fucks better behave yourself. So, of course he ran away like a coward because he's got polar TI and no character or spine. But Mom came on the phone, and she does have some character at least. She's not a complete coward. She's an ESTJ though, and she tried to control the frame too. I asked her direct questions. She didn't want to answer it. I said, "Listen, hey, Rachel's mom. So the reason she's been forced to stay outside 12 hours a day as a punishment was because she smokes weed in her room, right?" You know what her mom said? "Well, we can talk about that."
No.
That's not how you answer a question.
Well, did she follow it with an answer, or
No, what she was trying to say is, we're operating under my frame still. We're operating under my frame here. We're good, thank you. We're operating under my frame. We'll talk about it when I think it's a perfect talk about it. The fuck you will, bitch. I asked you a question. You answer it. So I had to hang up on that bitch several times. Well, you are not approaching me this way. You are approaching me with respect and fucking humility. So I put those fucks in their place. Anyway, I gotta go smoke a cigarette because I'm mad again.
we love you, Eric?
I love you too.
Rock on.
Jesus Christ. You men and your masculinity.
Questions from the peanut gallery? Anybody? Anybody want to hurl any insults at us? Any more trolls? I don't
No,
know.
let's be
Okay.
nice. Let's
How
all,
many people wear glasses here?
I wear fake glasses.
Nice. I thought about wearing fake glasses too.
Do it. Makes you look cute.
Nice.
Doesn't make you look any better.
Well, of course you're gonna think. I like the oval ones because I have a kind of a round face, so it just kind of accentuates it better, I guess.
Yeah, well, fuck your elbow, Alexandra Cruz.
What?
I think it's ugly.
I think she really does want to fuck him.
Criticism isn't it? No, it's not.
Well, you're right about
You
that, sophistry.
suggested it.
You're right about that, sophistry, dude. Unfortunately, the criticism so far simply hasn't been valid. It's been pretty disappointing.
Whoever.
I was also mostly hoping for some commentary from the community here. 'Cause
About what?
I don't know what to talk about right now. That's the thing.
Well, Eric kind of made a bad segue.
He did make a bad segue.
The point was to discuss how the parallels are
Yeah,
strangely timed.
right. The parallels between Tori's parents and Rachel's parents can't just be a coincidence. It's like almost exactly the same bullshit that we're dealing with both sets of parents. And Eric deals with it a little bit more assertively, I guess.
I think
Just
Eric did. I
reactively.
think Eric
Yeah.
didn't give any details because I think for my sake, Philip, basically they wanted to. So basically, in order for me to get here, without having to get a job, which I was not allowed. I was not allowed to get a job back home. I instead made a GoFundMe to get here. And in order to do that accurately, I had to explain what was going on at home. And when I got here, we all found out that they hired a private investigator to find my location, even though I did not want them to see it. Yes, they do watch these videos. I don't really care anymore. And
the point, but the reason we're not going into details about what the background of Tori before she got here is that's not the point of this video.
well, I'm bringing it up because they asked.
I know,
and I feel comfortable explaining.
I know, and I'm answering too. I'm saying these are why we're not giving the details because the point is I don't want to distract from the central theme here. And the central theme here is everybody has a responsibility to communicate appropriately. And when I encounter parents who neither communicate appropriately with me or Spacey, I mean, Rachel's parents haven't communicated with Spacey, obviously, but when parents don't communicate appropriately, it correlates very strongly with basically an environment of ontological assault. And I think that's what both of these two women have been subject to. And, you know, it's not, there are different kinds of ontological assault. It's not all abuse. It's not all like, you know, a lot of it is parents trying to do the best for their kids according to their own warped fucking wrongness, you know?
Mm-hmm. What exactly is ontological?
Okay, so it's an environment that basically says the way you are is wrong. If you, as an SI dom, live in a house with two SI polar parents who basically, since you were born, have instilled in you the fundamental notion that there's something wrong with you the way you are. That you need to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C in order to be okay. It's an environment of ontological assault. Now, there may be specific acts of ontological assault that are more easily delineated or something, but it's the general environment of saying, okay, no, Tori, what your way is wrong. What you want is wrong. But I know better for you than you do. Parents who parent well prioritize their kids' happiness first and foremost, and autonomy first and foremost. But you can't obviously prioritize both first and foremost. But I changed my mind. Autonomy first, and then happiness. You got to manage. You're a regent as a parent. Your job is to manage your child's transition from dependence to autonomy. And what Tori's parents have done, and it's probably what Rachel's parents have done as well, although I don't, I haven't heard. I'm going out with someone who's SI polar. What have I not been subject to? A bunch of stories of shit that happened to her. She doesn't remember.
Right.
And that's great. That works beautifully for me. But what does matter to me, for sure, is that it opens a reality for us that we need to manage properly. Namely, these four adults have all planted a crop full of disdain. And they thought they were going to force feed that disdain to their children. But instead, they find that it is they who must reap what they have sown. And what they have sown has produced them a harvest of Eric being mad. Now, Tori's parents can continue to avoid me as much as they want, but they won't avoid this critique. Mm-hmm. And they won't ever be able to avoid it until they are actually accountable and honest. The lies have to stop.
Exactly.
There needs to be some internalization of the truth that they have fucked up.
And I'm sick of trying to explain it to you because you know what you're doing.
You do not fool me. You will never fool me. You do not fool Spacey. You will never fool Spacey. You will never win this argument because you are in the wrong. It is time for you to grow up, accept the truth, and change your ways accordingly. Repent. Go forth and with the intent to sin no more. Your wickedness is offensive to me. It befouls my Denny's meal.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, Jake. No, I don't think so.
Oh, I wonder if she is.
Hi, Sandy.
Have fun with that.
Yeah,
Once they spot the private investigator.
From what I can tell, the notification system on YouTube is fucking garbage, So, did you eat your cheese today?
Did you?
I had any cheese today.
We haven't had.
What did we have?
We had cheese last night.
Yeah.
Why am I asking you? Do you remember where the phone?
Yeah, like Express we had today. I remember
That was
Oh, you guys have Panda
I remember
Express?
where we had for lunch.
What?
Portos.
Oh yeah.
That's great. You don't remember what we had.
What's
I love
Portos?
I love the clear demonstration of the cognitive function
Right.
dynamics. It
Yeah.
happens all the time. We can't remember shit. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tori
Can't-
has an
Can't
exact.
forget shit.
Yeah, has an exact picture of what she.
Right. Okay, so just seems like a lot of unnecessary moisture.
What?
But look, the fact is,
We've
you
been a
know,
lot more moist lately. That's true.
sure we have. And absolutely my FI got involved when I was talking to Rachel's parents because, you know, I see it for what it is from an outsider's perspective, and I'm appropriately, understandably, outraged and appalled by their fucking stinkiness.
Yeah.
It
really does disgust us quite a bit. We don't encounter it to this degree, like, ever. Right?
Right. And it's like, you know, I was talking to Rachel before she came out here and saying, like, your parents used to stay outside 12 hours a day. And, you know, her response was something along the lines of, well, I knew what I was doing. You know, like, whatever narrative her parents have been spitting at her.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Like, I'd bring up something, and then he'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "Well, you know, that's just the punishment that you get when you do blah blah blah."
Yeah, I did know what I was doing. I was so proud of my and I knew what you were going to do, too. You were going to prioritize your arbitrary, stupid-ass fucking rules over my well-being once again. Because you're shitty-ass parents. And scumbags.
I don't know the introverted thing.
See how that works? Yeah, she did know. And she knew better, and she did it anyway.
Well, we find them because we're the best at helping them, I guess.
Here's the thing. You